Good evening.
Mhm.
Good
Hello.
evening. Welcome to this Holy Light Circle. Tonight we are going to be looking at the desire for the experience of feeling like there's a sacrifice that we have to make. So let's just go ahead and do what we always do, which is start with the divine light of being. Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, so first thing Jesus would have us do is just admit to this desire. So let's just ask him, do we have this desire for feeling like there's a sacrifice here?
Mhm.
Yes, I have that desire. I admit that.
Yeah, I hear yes, loud and clear. Yeah. So from there, it's easy for us to just admit that we have a desire for something that is not peace.
Mhm.
Let's just go ahead and ask him, what miracles that he would have us perform. What would you have us do, Jesus? Okay, so what I'm hearing is we should just ask him to get right into it and get in touch with the relishing, or in other words, how much we desire that experience. So Jesus, will you help us get in touch with the relishing of the desire for the experience of feeling like there's something that we have to sacrifice here?
Yeah, there's like a conflict with his, like the plan for atonement and my time, like my schedule and the ideas I have about that.
Yeah, he's showing me that I have a belief that when he asks something of me, it's going to require sacrifice. I have to give up something that I like.
I'm feeling prompted to ask him uh, what he says when we ask him, what is it for?
Mm.
How about let's ask him what the resistance to letting go to this is for.
What I'm hearing is that I think I know what sacrifice is. And when he asked me to give up one of my preferences, that's sacrifice. And I resist that.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. So I'm just going to admit once again that I want that and ask him to help me get in touch with the relishing, because I haven't yet even scratched the surface of how much I want that.
Mhm. I think, I mean, what I hear is that sacrifice is my happiness.
Sacrificing divinity for the play of consciousness, or
Yeah, sacrifice is happiness for me.
okay, yeah, I must have that. Yep.
Mm.
I resist saying that.
Yeah, I don't really feel 100% okay with admitting that because it's not spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds spiritual and all good, but I'm like not wanting to admit it.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've got it all flipped. No, I don't really see that yet, really fully.
No.
That's what I was hearing for the value, is that my happiness is in sacrifice.
Yeah.
I don't like sacrifice. I hate sacrifice.
It's not particularly fun.
It's not fun. Yeah.
And I can't like make it fun, like just, switch it around in my mind to make it fun. Like,
Yeah, or make it my happiness. Yeah, I can probably get there, but right now,
uh, it's kind of like a dread feeling.
Dread?
Yeah.
It sounds like what?
Dread.
Dread?
You're like a dreaded feeling.
Oh, yes.
Like, like, um, like kind of like the feeling like,
Yeah, sacrifice.
yeah. Compromise, sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I notice, what he's been he's probably been showing me this. And what I notice is that I'm like, okay, Jesus, I'll sacrifice this, this, and this. Yeah, you can have that, but you can't have this and this. That's too much sacrifice.
Right.
And they're all concepts on my part.
It feels like I'm noticing it's kind of like I've seen this image a couple times on the call. It's like a dam that is gonna burst, and you can't, like, there's no way you can stop it from happening.
What dam is going to burst?
The light, like, is gonna stop whatever wall that we try to put up. So it's only a matter of, like, after a certain amount of suffering, it's kind of like inevitable that we're gonna fall to our knees.
Yeah, what I'm finding, which is surprising but not surprising, is that I love to fight. I love fighting Jesus on it.
Right. Yeah. Maybe just he might have been showing me the dam analogy to realize that resistance is futile ultimately.
Hmm.
Okay, let's get back to the relishing. I really want to get down in there. I really want to know like, I really want to see it, you know?
Yeah, good. We will if we want to.
So show us that, Jesus, not more play of consciousness, just the raw feeling.
Yeah, this is where we get to say, I love sacrifice.
Right. So I hear that it's an illusion about myself that I'm sacrificing, so it's not a real sacrifice, but I don't believe that. And I don't want to hear it. It just sounds like blah 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 blah. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a certain, not stage exactly, but a certain level of awareness and discernment where I'm not ready to hear that. But the more I look at it, the more I'm ready to hear it.
Right. It's like more mature to just admit that we don't want to hear it and that we don't want to sacrifice.
Then we're being, it feels like I'm being honest then. And then if I'm really honest, even in saying it, not face of innocence or trying to cover it up or
right.
put lipstick on a pig, I'm just like, I do not like it. Then
right.
it starts to dissipate.
Yeah, he can work with it. Then the Holy Spirit can like reinterpret.
Yeah.
Because even I don't even know how to be with the relishing. I need his help to do that.
Yeah, it makes a big deal when I ask for help in seeing this rather than trying to get through it. Okay, I relish this.
Right. Yeah. He's just giving us the relishing as a quicker way to get in touch with the light and the feeling. It's like the desire.
Yeah, the recognition that it's not what I think it is. It's, and when we go deep enough, it just disappears where it doesn't have to keep coming back.
Yeah, are we feeling release or holding?
I'm hearing some of both.
Yeah.
I hear holding.
Let's just do a light check and just notice the light. Even in the midst of the holding, the light is here. Nice.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah.
I can still feel like there's something that is kind of trying to hide. I don't know what it is, but he just says, we'll just go back to the relishing. Yeah, it's like the golem. There's like a critter, like a little like critter down there. But if I keep looking with him, I can start to see the innocence. So he's just saying, just look with him. He says, just walk with me over to this thing and just look at it with me. Don't be afraid of it. It's afraid of you. I see the biggest fear is I don't know what's on the other side of letting go.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the fighting, because it's like, well, if I let go of this, then I'm gonna have to let go in something else. And it's like on the timeline. Getting involved in time.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's come back to the relishing. I did this morning with Kay. I tried to go in that direction. She's like, no, bring it back to the relishing, Mary.
Yeah, it's so easy to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's telling me that we got easy and hard mixed up. Like what's easy, what we think of as easy is actually really hard.
Hmm. Yeah.
We don't like to hear that though. We do not like to hear. Let's do a light test. Does the light need to sacrifice anything? Gosh, it sure feels like it, doesn't it? I can feel something in me has a knife and it's just like like stabbing at that thing. It does not want, it wants to keep that sacrifice belief in place. What are you hearing, Renee?
I was hearing that it's like something I'm really invested in it, and it's cherished, and also I was seeing kind of like how it's so linked with effort.
Yeah. 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 I haven't heard this one in a while, but I was hearing like, once again, I was hearing like the ego say, like, if you make me let go of this, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Does not like anything that's gonna lead down that, what it believes is that. Does the light need to effort to give up the desire for sacrifice? No, 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 it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling like effort. There's like effort showing up.
Yeah, and that anything that sacrifice is just part of the spiritual journey. It's like martyrdom. You got to sacrifice in order to get there.
Right.
It goes deep.
We're confusing effort with sacrifice. If we're sacrificing illusions, then that shouldn't require any effort. That should not require any effort. But it feels like it does. Feels like it does.
We're so used to effort to accomplish anything. Accomplish.
Get.
Just what I'm seeing is like how love and sacrifice cannot coexist. So it's just that contrast. And then I can see kind of how if how that I'm like just investing in that energy.
Yeah.
What's Jesus telling you, though, about your relishing of sacrifice? I mean, really relishing of sacrifice.
Just that I'm really invested in it.
Yeah, it's not that I'm giving up nothing. I'm giving up what's most dear to me.
Which is what?
Well, even though I can't give up the whole ego, it knows that this is the undoing of it.
Yeah, it's like my beloved. It's like my love. It's very, very dear.
Your personal identity, or what are we talking
No,
about?
the sacrifice.
You guys got it together more than I do, because I love sacrifice. Yeah.
Well, I hear that it keeps me in the war.
Yes.
The war?
The war, yeah, like with myself.
Yep. The war against Holy Spirit, God.
And I really like that. Like it gives me meaning, purpose for eons.
I've been going around and around with that one. My deep, deep desire to fight God. I mean, we've spent hours on it and I'm still going at it. But it seems to take that kind of commitment to looking and really looking at how
Yeah,
much
I hear,
realize that.
yeah, I hear the ego saying something like, well, you want to really prove you're all powerful, like then like I'm gonna fight every step of the way. It's like a child like dragging their feet, like it's like, yeah.
Just relishing the fight.
Oh yeah, that sacrifice is not, it's, there's such an idea that sacrifice, it's of something.
Giving up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's sacrifice is of something. It's like that's like a binding. It's like very
Yeah.
tight. Like that sacrifice is of something.
Sacrifice is what?
Of
Is of
something.
something.
Like something
Something.
blank is gonna be sacrificed. Blank is gonna be sacrificed.
Mhm.
And also blank.
Of a thing. Yeah.
Tangible.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna it's like we put it outside and we go, this is gonna take, they're gonna take this away from me, and they're gonna take this away from me, and they're gonna take this away from me, and I'm gonna fight every step of the way.
Yeah. And I think it's so buried. It's like I've avoided this and avoided this and avoided this. Looking.
Yeah.
It's face of innocence. Oh no, yeah. I don't want to look at relishing fighting God.
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing now that even in the past, when I turned it into music or something, it's still a form of avoidance. So just noticing that.
Yeah.
I feel a little sad.
You what?
I feel some sadness.
Yeah, with some of these desires, with the deep looking, there's been a few experiences of recognizing that everything about me desires this. And I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, everything about, yeah. Oh, sorry, Mary, what?
No, yeah, it's so buried. The desire for it. Like if you told me a year or two ago that I really relish sacrifice, I'm like, what are you talking about? But it's all in the
Yeah.
subconscious. It's hidden.
Yep.
Until we look, really look.
I just heard correct use of denial, and then I said, Jesus, show us then, show us the correct use of denial.
seeing the seeing that it's self-sacrificed, sacrificing the light. It's really just putting the light out of awareness, but it's sacrificing the light.
And I want to hold it against God that he's causing me to sacrifice. That he's requiring sacrifice of me in order to awaken.
That's where it doesn't, it's like, man, I just don't get it. I
Well, it's like getting in touch with that desire to want anything but the light.
okay. Yeah, that's clear.
And that's desire to blame where and not really fully comprehend how my mind is working.
I heard that we could just have an experience, like just the play of consciousness, but we don't see correctly. Or not we, but the ego doesn't see correctly. It just can't see what this is. So then it uses it for ego goals, and that's where the feeling of sacrifice comes from, because it the ego goals will be taken away, and the ego views that as sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep death alive in the mind.
Yeah, it even uses the excuse. It will take the idea of light and then turn it into an experience and say, well, the experience has been happening this whole time anyway, so what's the difference?
What now, Elliot? The experience wasn't happening anyway, so what's the difference?
No, the experience has been happening this whole time. So what's the difference, whether you choose the light or the play? Like it does that.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the relishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really seeing the ego's trick. It's one trick pony. at the moment.
Jesus, what's most useful for us to see right now about relishing sacrifice?
Yeah, are we ready for a miracle on this, or is there more to look at here?
I'm hearing there's more to look at.
Yeah, me too. I can feel that it's like something just wanting to be done.
What's that?
I can feel something that's just wanting to be done, just done with this sacrifice business.
I view placing it in the light as sacrifice.
Placing sacrifice in the light, is that what you said,
No,
Renee?
placing,
Anything.
yeah, it's like there's that idea that placing it in the light is sacrifice.
There's that dread feeling again. It's like, oh, here we go again. Ugh, we have to start with the light again. Ugh.
Yes. Oh, the light check.
Yeah. Yeah, it's here. It's with us. Yeah, I'm just hearing that I'm not aware of how deep this sacrifice desire goes. And that is what scares me about it.
You're not sure how it goes?
How deep
Oh,
it goes. And
yeah.
that's what scares me about it.
Mm.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's this focusing and staying with it and bringing it back, bringing the cow back in the barn and looking at it again. We can talk about, whatever, but it's that bringing it back and just quietly focusing on it.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, just give the ego fears over to the light. No funny business. Give the out picturing to the light.
Yeah, but I can see when I hold on to it or when I start to open up to give it to the light, to place it in the light, then the desire for sacrifice starts to dissolve.
Yeah.
Like the holding is the sacrifice.
Yeah, I I heard that I don't want to see the Father in everything. I don't want to look around and see the Father everywhere. The ego really does not want that.
What is that again, Elliot? Explain that.
I said, I don't want to see the Father in everything, you know? The ego doesn't want to look around and see the Father here, the Father there, the Father up, the Father down. That feels
Definitely
like
not.
sacrifice.
Yeah, that's relish. That's definitely relishing, seeing that there's a desire for sacrifice to be in everything.
Yeah, instead of divine love, instead of infinite light. Like that, yeah, that's terrifying. That's really disturbing. I mean, my ego is disturbed by that. We pay so much attention to the jeweled frame and not the picture that's in the center, as the course says.
What I'm hearing is that the desire for sacrifice becomes the lens through which I see everything.
Ugh. Sounds awful.
But that's the way of the ego, though.
Right? Yeah.
And we think it's true.
Well, thank God we have the light to, dispel these myths over what seems like time. Well, are we ready for a miracle?
Mhm.
Yeah, I got a yes. I feel like a dissipation of something.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear there's just a willingness to let the light shine. Like just let the light shine and to rest in the light and let that keep releasing because it feels like they're still releasing
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
with it, but there is release.
There's relief. Yeah.
What I'm hearing is there's willingness to see it differently here and a recognition that there's more to see here. Yeah, that it's pretty tightly wound.
Mm.
That I don't fully recognize it.
Yeah, I heard we profit nothing by not letting it unwind us.
Mm.
Even though there's gonna be resistance.
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be, though.
Mhm.
Well, we don't, yeah.
It's a choice.
None of it has to be, yeah, the way we think it is.
Mm-hmm. Which is what I see time and time and time and time again. Over and over, proven wrong, proven wrong, proven wrong. Well, thank you everyone for joining us at
Mm,
this Holy Light Circle.
mhm.
Renee, was there any
Yeah.
announcements to make?
Oh, Mary actually would be the one to
Okay.
We have
fill
the
us in.
45-day online program that's going to be coming out this week,
Wow.
and that's free. And Renee's been doing it. And there are a few others that have started it, but it's not generally been announced. And you can find out at joiningenlight.net or Joining in Light Facebook page. We'll be posting an announcement. And then Wednesday night will be Wednesday Night Live. And Kay's going to be bringing through Jesus, talking about the confusion between happiness and pleasure. We think pleasure is happiness, and we don't really know what happiness is.
Beautiful. Well, everybody have a wonderful evening. Blessings. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.